Once upon a time, kids couldn't wait to get away from the oldies, but not anymore. Now, more than a third of 20-somethings in Australia are still living with mum and dad. Or to be really tough, still sponging, because most pay little or no rent. All up, 500,000 over 55s now have grown-up children living with them. That's an increase of 50,000 in the last 2 years. Some kids just never leave. Others become boomerangs. They move out, then before you know it, they're back again. But this crowded house syndrome isn't all the kids' fault. Often it's the clinging oldies who just can't let go. It's always a full house at the Rogers Wilsons. Meet the parents, Peter and Susie. Now meet the children. There's 28-year-old Lucy, 30-year-old Joe, and 25-year-old Tim. Oh, and that's Sally, Tim's girlfriend. She's part of the family too. The kids have grown up, but they haven't moved out. And that's how mum and dad like it.
It's a family home, and they're part of the family, and they will always be welcome here. There's a fair element of craziness, and that's part. I mean, we love having the kids. It's fun. We enjoy it.
I don't want that in my kitchen. Get rid of it.
Over at the Galley household, things aren't going quite so smoothly.
Not your kitchen, it's my kitchen. See? Maggie's kitchen.
Oh, we'll fill it up with food then.
Yeah, and who's going to pay for that?
You.
Me again.
Well, it's your kitchen.
22-year-old David still lives at home with his girlfriend Roxanne. And Mum Marg's not happy.
There isn't any. Oh, we have 2 eggs. Is that what we're going to have for dinner?
Yeah.
What's the plan? When do you want them out?
I want them out now, but that's not going to happen. So I'm giving them at least another year and we'll see how it goes. Don't overcook them, I want them nice. And flatten those burger things.
The heat's on at the Galleys. And while Marg's cooking up ways to get the kids out, surprisingly, she's in the minority.
You know how to cook them then?
Because Dad squashed them because you told him.
It's estimated more than 60% of parents with adult children at home don't want them to move out. It's a social trend that's transforming family life around the country.
I mean, in a casserole like this.
Susie's in no hurry for an empty nest. Tim, Joe and Lucy can stay as long as they like. Eldest daughter Jo is a classic boomerang kid, moving in and out of the family home for the past 10 years. She's back this time to try and start a new career. Did you ever think you would be home at 30 years of age?
Not in a pink fit of Fridays. No. I don't know what I ever thought I'd be doing when I turned 30. And here I am, 30 and single, no babies, living with my parents. How tragic.
The baby of the family, Tim, is an apprentice builder. He's saving for his first house.
Obviously, you grow up and you want to move on, but I want to be ready. I want to have the cash in the bank to make it happen right, so I don't have to struggle.
I should have got this nice little slip of Joey's out.
Cool, take care,
Flush that around.
Lucy doesn't want to struggle either. She's a school teacher and prefers to live in comfort while she pays off some debts.
Push comes to shove, if you say, I'm still home with mum and dad, it's always that little bit sad, but it's also always that little bit smart.
More than a third of adult children in their 20s are now living at home in their childhood bedrooms, and every year that figure keeps rising. High rental costs, university fees, lack of commitment are some of the reasons for this new social phenomenon. The majority are not paying any board, or if they do, it's only a token amount.
None of us pay board. I genuinely think Mum and Dad enjoy having us around, and I don't know if we've ever even discussed board.
Sounds like you've got a great deal.
It's quite peachy, isn't it?
Have you heard of the phrase kippers? Kids in parents' pockets eroding retirement savings.
No, but I like it. It's okay, they're kippers, but in fact...
But they're not in our pockets.
That could be my new favourite dish, kippers.
Yeah, they still happen to be home, that's fine. It doesn't really make any difference. I mean, it's their money too.
It's sensible and it saves money, but there just comes an age when it's just weird and wrong and it's got to stop.
Yeah, it's El Prior.
Of course, some adult children can't wait to leave home. 27-year-old journalist Lisa Pryor just doesn't understand why someone her age would want to live with their parents. But she can understand why parents would want to live with their kids.
It's about having an active, vibrant household where you are in touch with what young people are up to these days. You know what music's in the top 40.
So we're talking about the baby boomers who are trying to stave off old age and remain connected to their youth.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it can be really hard if you have spent 20 years raising your kids to try and invent a new life for yourself as a empty nester.
No, I paid €20 and I could have got one for 10.
What is it, $40?
Marg and John Galley can't wait to be empty nesters.
This was your order.
They recently ran away from home for a romantic holiday in Europe.
We're skiers, definitely, aren't we, mate? 100% skiers. Spending the kids' inheritance. Going at it as hard as we can. I spoiled you, girlie. Look what I got you.
Like all parents, Marg and John want to give David and his girlfriend Roxanne a good start in life. But they also want their space back.
It's not that we hate having the kids here, it's just that we think that it would be good if they could get out and to get their own house and that.
Basically, we don't have the freedoms that we had as just a couple because we're still doing the parent thing. And I feel like I've done that time in my life and I want to move on. And before we know it, we're going to have missed that stage in our lives because they'll have kids. And we'll be doing the grandmother thing. But seriously, I'm thinking of moving interstate when that happens. Rocky and David, a house by themselves. Me and John, a house by themselves. Yay!
I know you're not that old, but what is the attraction of still being at home at 22?
It's easier. It's obviously easier, cheaper. Cheaper's probably the whole reason, really. I mean, if I could afford to move out of home, I would. Simple as that. Most of our mates that rent houses, they're all qualified and all that, and they all earn $1,000 a week, and it's easy.
David is on an apprentice carpenter's wage. Marg does ask him to pay board, but that's proving to be more trouble than it's worth.
I ask them to pay $20 each a week, but I don't very often see it. So I started a tab, and he's up to about, $4,000.
But why are you letting that happen?
Because I can't stand the arguments. You wait till you have kids, they wear you down.
Why do you think more and more older kids are staying at home?
They're not getting married till later in life now where,
They don't need to get married. What do they want to get married for?
John and Marg married young to satisfy their conservative parents. She was only 19 and he was just 22.
He wouldn't have dared hold my hand in our lounge room in case my father came in and hit you.
No.
He was really scared of my dad.
Which brings us to that touchy subject, and how times have changed. Roxanne and David can live here in the family home as if they were man and wife.
Sex under your mum and dad's roof.
Not really a problem.
So how would it go if your folks said no more?
May have been different, I guess. We probably would have had no choice and moved out. But she's a good mum, she lets us pretty much do what we want, so.
It's this liberal attitude that perhaps more than anything else is encouraging grown-up kids to stay at home. In the Rogers-Wilson household, there's sleepovers happening too. Tim's girlfriend Sally is welcome to stay overnight as often as she wants.
You deserve it.
So money's a big part of it.
Yeah.
What about the sex?
The sex.
Living under your mum and dad's roof and you've got a girlfriend.
Peter. Peter, you're stepping over the line. Peter, put your manners back in.
I've heard that before.
Oh, well, I've heard that before too.
But with, parents often say, yeah, you can live at home, but there won't be any sex under our roof.
Oh, crikey. No problems with the sex under this roof. Mum and Dad are pretty relaxed. I mean, I'm 25. It'd be trouble, wouldn't it, if you weren't allowed to?
I wonder how good the sex is that you're having if you can have it in the room next to your parents.
Things up a bit.
Lisa Pryor has never had that problem. She moved out of home long ago, at 18, and last year married comedian Julian Morrow.
Thanks. Cheers. Cool. We're going to get ribbed so badly.
Lisa believes that setting up her own home has taught her basic life skills. Skills the stay-at-homes just aren't learning.
So what is this doing to these adult kids, if you like?
Well, I think it is potentially creating a generation of screwed up 20-somethings that might have a postgraduate degree but not really understand how to do the washing, or they've travelled all over the world but they can't manage to make it up to the shops to buy some milk.
I left you $300 for food, and what do we have left?
We've been eating for 3 weeks.
Back from holidays and back to reality. In fairness, David and Roxanne have kept the house clean, but the fridge is empty and Marg knows she's the one who'll have to pay to fill it up again.
We had steaks, tuna mornay, oysters. We live like kings for 3 weeks.
Marg loves a good argument, but it's all done with a sense of fun.
We're keeping you young. If we weren't here, you'd go from 40 odd straight up to 80.
I could have 10 facelifts in the cost that you're costing me to stay young, boy.
Are they compromising your retirement? I mean, at this stage, you should be building your nest egg for you guys.
Well, they are, basically, if you look at it that way. Yeah, they are. We're sacrificing for them, but that's what you do for your kids, because we love them.
Could I please have one of these AG combo loaves? Thank you. Yeah, lovely. Could I have some of those, please?
The cost of running a house with 5 adult mouths to feed is eating into Susie's nest egg too.
You've got 3 at home too.
4, make it 4. My mother-in-law as well.
Oh my God, at least I haven't got my mother-in-law. I'm coming back.
There's the power and phone bills to pay, and in a family that enjoys a drink together, an endless supply of wine and beer. Even the laundry is part of the service.
Anybody got any more white washing?
No, we're cool, Suze.
Now, I can really understand why these kids don't want to leave home.
What about cooking and cleaning?
Cooking, of course, yeah, cooking and cleaning. I'm taking on the cleaning role now, though. Trying to earn a bit more money. Mum might, pay me a little bit to do some cleaning, but...
I think you've got the deal of the century. Your mum will pay you to clean and you don't pay board.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good deal. It's a cracker.
Remember when you and I were dating, we still had fun, but we didn't, sponge off our parents and...
It might be a great deal for the kids, but for couples like Marg and John, there's more to life than simply being parents, and they just can't wait to be home alone.
I want my life back. I want to be just me and hubby again and make love in my lounge room if I want to and come naked to my fridge to get a drink, which I haven't been able to do for 23 years.
Well, it would seem there's nothing in the fridge to get anyway.
No, that's right.
Now let's go down on the boundary, girls, and get right into this, eh?
So, welcome to the future.
Ooh.
Plenty of empty fridges, but not too many empty nests.
Me and Rox are buying a house.
When? Next week?
Is it simply that the baby boomers don't want to grow old, or that their kids don't want to grow up? As the generation gap closes, more and more children are deciding there's no place like home.
I hope you had the time of your life.
I certainly am keen to be a grown-up, but I also love hanging out here and chatting and having a few bottles of red and, solving the world's energy crisis is good fun.
When do you think you will move out?
I'd like to say soon, but I just don't know.
They care for you. Will you care for them in their old age?
Oh, God, yes. I think that's my job.
Would you let them move into your house?
Sure.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes, segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.